Keep growing, keep growing. As I was meditating, thinking about this evening, I started asking myself this question, that why is it that a lot of people are not growing? And I realized that growth is hard work. It's easier for you and me or for anyone to live their life by default. It's easier. You just sleep, wake up, just go to what you are familiar with and come back. But if you want to make a difference in your world, it's hard work. If you want to fulfill your purpose, you want to fulfill your destiny, it's hard work. Oh, if you want to take it to another level, you want to be outstanding in life, it's a lot of discipline. And that is why it takes a person that is intentional, that is disciplined, to commit to growth. And that is why I want to challenge everyone on the call tonight. These are the line of thoughts I want to bring to you, and I want you to think about it, consider what you are hearing tonight, and hopefully apply it to your life. Because growth is not a single event. For everyone that has been joining since we started this talk, we started from the point that mental illness is likely going to increase as a result of COVID-19. Therefore, we said there is a need for us to prepare ourselves. And one of the ways that we can prepare ourselves is by growing intentionally, because there is an evidence-based definition of mental health that says mental health is a spiritual and emotional resilience that enables you to cope with stress. Therefore, if it is true that to be at a state of mental health, because they said mental health is not just absence of mental illness. So to be at a state where we say, yes, I have good mental health, you have to have spiritual resilience, you have to have emotional resilience. And to have both spiritual and emotional resilience, you must grow. Because I showed us the well-being continuum that says when you begin to grow, you move towards peace, you move towards fulfillment. But if you and I refuse to grow, we move towards languishing. And in the place of languishing is where we find mental illness, we find depression, which is a form of mental illness, we find psychosis, which is a form of mental illness, and we find all manner of mental health or mental disorder. So tonight, I want to emphasize on the point that we need to keep growing, because growth is not a single event. I cannot say that, well, I've grown myself last week, I'm not going to grow myself this week. We must be consistent in the area of personal growth and development. And John Maxwell said that motivation gets you going. Discipline keeps you growing. As a pastor of a local church, I motivate people a lot. I encourage people. And I find out that motivation is not enough. Motivation is not enough until people find the reason to grow. A lot of people don't grow. And it's a pity. It's a pity that until people are boxed to a corner, until people face challenges in their life, until people are desperate, they don't see the need to grow. And the purpose of this call is just to call our attention to the fact that God has packaged potential in us. God has packaged potential in you and in me. So the gift of God to you and to me is the potential that God has packaged in us. Our gift to God is developing those potentials. And we can only develop our potential by committing ourselves to personal growth and development. And in the past, we've talked about the fact that a lot of people want to grow, but they don't know how to grow. So I'm just trying to contribute my own quota by suggesting to us how we can grow. And tonight we want to talk about growth is not a single event. When it comes to personal growth and development, motivation is not enough. Motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. Discipline keeps you growing. There are days I just feel so tired, I don't want to do certain things. But because somewhere within me, by the reason of my exposure to teachings on growth, by the reason of my exposure to talks like this, something has been deposited in my spirit that just keep me going. I don't feel like it, but I just do it. That's why someone said, don't wait for your feeling. It said, when you begin to do what you have to do, your feeling will catch up with you. And so I'm hoping that everyone on the call tonight, you will not wait for your feelings before you begin to put small discipline in place in your life. So let's get going on this talk tonight. I want to show us the fact that growth is not a single event. We have to make effort to grow every day. So we need to commit to growing consistently. And I intend to show us tonight how to grow consistently. I want to show us tonight how to grow consistently, because it doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter how talented I am. It doesn't matter how many opportunities we receive. If we want to grow, consistency is the key. In my life, I have come across a lot of talented people, anointed people, but as a result of not being consistent, they lost it. And I'm hoping, I'm praying for everyone on the call tonight that you will not lose it. So growing consistently. Do you know what you need to do to improve? Do you know what you need to improve? Do you know how you need to improve? Do you know what you need to improve? There is room for improvement in everyone's life. Like I said earlier on, I don't want to get to a point where I am now under pressure to do certain things. It is better for me to begin to build capacity before problem comes. Wisdom demands that we begin to prepare ourselves for the day of war. When we begin to prepare ourselves, when we begin to get ready for the day of war, it becomes easier for us to overcome our challenges. As Bible students, we understood that the reason why David was able to overcome Goliath was because he has been practicing killing lions and bears in the back of the desert. So tonight, I just want to encourage us that we need to be intentional about growing ourselves so that we can become whom God has ordained us to be in life. We are created for a purpose. There is a plan for our life. God has plans for us. There are purposes that God has predestined for our destiny. There are potential that God has packaged inside of us. Therefore, we must commit to developing such potentials so that we can become the light and the salt that God has ordained us to be. So let us go on. Do you know what you need to do to grow? We need to get up every morning with determination if we are going to go to bed with satisfaction. If at the end of our life, if we don't want to be like Methuselah, who lived for 999 years, and all that was written about him was that he begat and he begat and he begat. If we want our life to count for something, if we want our life to have meaning, if you want to add value to people in our life, if you want to make a difference in our generation, if you are like me, you want to make global impact, then we need to become more disciplined. We need to get up every morning with determination, and we need to do what we have to do. We don't have to be encouraged to do what we have to do. We just need to do what we have to do. And if we don't know what we have to do tonight, I'm going to be pointing us in direction of the things we need to do. Your future, my future, is dependent upon our personal growth. Our future is dependent on our personal growth. Improving yourself daily guarantees you a future full with possibility. Your future, my future, is dependent upon our personal growth. Improving ourselves daily guarantees a future filled with possibilities. I have a friend who, by the grace of God, is a PhD holder. He left his job and he left his job to go and work abroad. So when he came back, within a month, he was in another job. Well, we account that to the grace of God. We account that to the favor of God. But at the same time, it's as a result of the fact that he has grown himself in the area of his career. Whereas there are other people who have been out of job for 6 months, 1 year, and they don't have anything. So the point I'm making here is that our future is dependent upon our personal growth. Improving ourselves daily, mark that word, daily, guarantee us a future filled with possibilities. When we expand ourselves, we expand our horizon and our option, our opportunities, and we increase our potentials. We begin to manifest and deploy our potential. So that is how we can grow daily. We can grow consistently, and we have to do this thing daily. We have to do it daily. To grow, most people need knowledge, experience, and coaching. I did a study with a group of friends not too long ago, and one of them said to me, one of the things that, by the grace of God, the coach has helped us with is that he has helped me to focus on an area of growth in my life. A lot of people want to grow, but they are all over the place. To grow, we must be focused on an area of growth in our life. Somebody might say, I want to grow in my character. It might say, I lack integrity. So I want to focus on integrity because, there was a research that was carried out of top executives, and they said, what are they looking for in the person that they want to employ? And almost about 70% of them said they were looking for a person of good character, a person of integrity. So it doesn't matter how skillful someone is, it doesn't matter how talented the person is. If they lack integrity, if they lack good character, they might not stay on the job. So that is why when in growing, we have to focus on an area of discipline part-time. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Somebody might say, okay, I want to be consistent in my prayer life. I want to be consistent in my study of the word. I want to be consistent in developing my skills in my career. Someone might say, well, I think I have this gift. I want to be consistent in developing this gift. And you are doing that daily. So that is what we are talking about. That is what we are talking about, that growth is not a daily affair. It's a consistent thing. It's not a daily event. It's just not a just one-time event. It's a consistent thing. So that is how we can improve. To grow, most people need knowledge, and that's what we are trying to share tonight. Most people need experience and coaching. So motivation and personality. A lot of people, you just motivate them, they move, but we need to know our personality as well, because there are different type of personality. For someone like me, I'm sanguine. I don't need anybody to motivate me. I'm always motivated, But some people, they need to discover a purpose before they can be motivated. We need to know who we are. We need to know ourselves. We talked about that a few weeks ago. You need to know yourself to grow yourself. You need to know your personality, and you know what motivates your personality. Some people, it's the end point that motivates them. Some people, it's seeing people doing it that motivate them. You need to know yourself. You need to know your personality, so that knowing your personality will be the thing that will help you to know what motivates you. What motivates me might not motivate someone else with different personality. And of course, we need to start with the small stuff, like I said earlier on. And again, we have to be patient with ourselves. We have to be patient because it's a lifetime thing. It's a painful journey. Like I said earlier on, it is easier to live our life by default. It is easier to just be following the crowd. If you want to make a difference in your life, if I want to make a difference, it is hard work, which we have to be intentional about. It has to involve discipline. We have to be deliberate about it. And it is my hope and prayer tonight that God will help all of us. So again, we must value the process. To value the process, to value the process of growth, we must enjoy the process of growth. I remember many years ago, I think I've shared it before on this platform as well. Many years ago, I was speaking in a conference, and a lady came to me after the conference. I said to me, he said, well, that's a good talk, but I think you need to improve yourself in certain area of your life. It did not discourage me. I took it on board because I knew that the person was talking to me out of love, that look, you need to develop yourself if you want a lot of people to be listening to you. And I will not say to you that I'm there yet. I'm still learning. I'm still improving myself. I'm paying some people to teach me. So we might have to do that. And we value the process of that learning. So value the process of growth. Don't let your goal be the end. Value the process. Life goals are reached by setting annual goals. Annual goals are reached by reaching daily goals. Daily goals are reached by doing things which may be uncomfortable at first, but eventually becomes habits. So when we start out on the journey of growth, the self-discipline or the discipline we are putting in place in our life might be difficult at the beginning. But as we remain consistent, you'll find out that you begin to enjoy it. Especially for us and our background, one of the things that we lack is consistency. And I'm hoping that by this teaching, the grace for consistency will come upon us to develop power habits. Habits are powerful things. Habits turn action into attitude, and attitude into lifestyle. We can visualize tomorrow using it as motivation to grow, like I said earlier on. But if you want to actually grow, your focus needs to be on today. What am I doing today? What do I need to do today to be better tomorrow? Because you see, personal growth and development is the only guarantee that tomorrow will be better. I'll say that again. Personal growth and development is the only guarantee that tomorrow will be better. When we begin to live our life based on personal growth and development, we could almost predict our future. We could almost predict our future because it's like the law of nature that cannot fail. With God on your side, I'm a man of faith. With God on your side and you doing your part, growing yourself, you could almost predict your future when you begin to grow yourself intentionally. When you start cultivating daily discipline, you are practicing daily discipline. And may the Lord help you and help me too. Too many people believe that one big public success will solve their self-confidence problem forever. But it's not true. Whatever area we are struggling with, we start dealing with it one after the other, taking baby steps. Don't go for the big one. Maybe, what example can I use? Maybe you want to learn to drive. Maybe you want to, I don't know, whatever is big for you. Let's use driving as an example. Start learning, do your theory tests, then go and get a driving coach to start taking you out and start taking that baby step. But you can imagine if someone who wants to learn to drive is not taking the baby step of going to do the theory test, he won't drive. Even driving, it is the consistency of learning on the road that will put the act of driving into your subconscious mind that will help you to drive eventually. So that applies to every area of our life. We need to develop our daily discipline, value the process. Do you know why you want to keep improving? Do you know why you want to keep improving? For me, I want to make global impact. That's why I keep improving. That's why I have sleepless night. I study in the night. I pray in the night. I do most of the things I do. Why do I do it in the night? Because my house is busy during the day. I have a child that is under 10 years old. I cannot deny her of her playtime. So the house is busy, so I have to stay up at night to develop myself. Do you know why you want to grow? Knowing what to do or knowing what to improve and how to improve are critical to consistency in personal growth. I want to make global impact. I want to be speaking to tens of thousands of people. I don't want to be speaking to 5 people. I don't want to be speaking to 10 people. I want to be speaking, I want my life to impact thousands of people. I want to add value to many people. Do you know why you want to grow? If you don't know, I want to encourage you to find a reason to want to grow. The successful person has the habit of doing the things that failures don't like to do. The successful person doesn't like to do them either, but his dislike is subordinated to the strength of his purpose. So I was, one of my, I think my sister-in-law sent a post not too long ago. She just relocated to Canada from Nigeria. And she sent a post. She said, I love good things. So because I love good things, I work hard. Said, so the few times I have time off from work, I use the good things that I buy with my hard-earned money. So because she hates poverty, she goes to work all the time. Well, I have problem with that because if you work too much, you might not be able to use your mind. I mean, if you are going after shifts, there are works that you do that even going to work every day, you are developing yourself. But there are work you do that you don't have to think. You just work on routine. I don't like that kind of job. But when you work where you engage your mind, work that are tasking, that are challenging your brain, those ones are good. So what am I saying? The successful person has the habit of doing the things that failures don't like to do. And I'm hoping that everyone here tonight, we will cultivate the habits of being consistent in the area of our growth. Do you know why you want to improve? Has quitting become a habit in your life? I hope not. Because they said winners never quit and quitters never win. Do you know when you are supposed to improve? Do you know when you are supposed to improve? If I ask us to look at our watch now, when does someday strike? Because some people will say, well, maybe I will improve someday. Some people will say, maybe I will improve tomorrow. Some people will say next week. Someone might even say after this pandemic. But guess what? I want to suggest to us that this is the right time to improve. Like I said, and I've said it before on this talk, that look, this pandemic is a good opportunity for us to grow because there's going to be a lot of post-pandemic or post-COVID opportunity. And as you know, opportunities comes in disguise. When this opportunity comes, it's only growing people that will recognize them. Opportunity comes in disguise. People that are not growing will not see them. They see them as problem. Take, for example, I've been shouting this to anyone that care to listen. The platform we are using today, we were told that the asset of this man behind Zoom increased 4 times just because of COVID-19. So this is the time to grow. This is the time to sharpen your skill. This is the time to reinvent yourself. I think I'm going to share this because I love everyone on the call. I love you. Thank you for joining the call. I was just somewhere not too long ago, and this inspiration came to me to go and check what they did, especially the successful people, the people that were successful after 1820 pandemic, 1920 pandemic. Because you see the pandemic we are having now, they've had it in 1820. They had it in 1920. And as a result of this pandemic, some people rose. God bless some people. So the idea came to me that I should go and check what they did. Maybe you too should go and do it. Look at people that became successful after the pandemic and look at what they did. Maybe God will give you an inspiration on what to do. And to do that, it takes effort. It takes discipline. Research into what they do. And I believe that if we can do the same, or maybe do something better, or take it to the next level, I believe that we're going to be successful. Do you know when you are supposed to improve? Like I said, it is just now. This is the time to improve. Maybe it is time to stop setting goals, because when we set goals, we hit goals. But when we make up our mind to grow, we surpass the goals without even knowing. When you set goals, you hit goals. If I set a goal that I want to do X by X time, I will do it. But if I say I want to grow, you see, my goal that I set, I will hit it, I will not even know. Because growth is a lifetime thing. The more you grow, the more you desire to grow. The more you grow, the more the desire to grow comes to you. If you're a pastor, the more you are moving deep in the realm of the spirit, the more you want to know more. The more you know, the more you want to know more. Because it's only people that don't know that things that they know. People that know that there is more to know. So I want to quickly show us, as we begin to round up today, goal consciousness. When you are goal conscious, you focus on the destination. That is, you focus on your goal. Someone might say, well, I want to have 5 properties in UK. That's the goal. But someone will say, no, I just want to grow. When you begin to grow, you enter into the realm of possibilities. In the course of growing, you might have 50 houses without even knowing. That's the difference. So growth consciousness focuses on the journey. And the good news is that when you begin to grow, you will know the process, and the process becomes repeatable. That is what happened in the life of this great man in America. I forgot his name now. He lost his wealth and he started all over again. So when you begin to grow, you can repeat the action that took you to where you are. You know that these are the steps I took to get here. If I can repeat those steps, I will move forward. Of course, as you begin to grow more. So goal consciousness motivates you and others. Growth consciousness matures you and others. Goal consciousness is seasonal. Goal consciousness is lifelong. Goal consciousness challenges you, but growth consciousness changes you. Growth consciousness changes you. And that's the good thing about growth. A lot of people want to change their spouse. A lot of people want to change their colleagues. A lot of people want to change their subordinates. I have learned that the only person that I can change is me. And when I begin to change through growth, the people around me will change. I don't have to change my wife. I need to change me. When I change me, my wife will change in the place of growth. When I begin to learn communication, I begin to learn connection. I begin to study my wife. I know what she loves. I know what makes her tick. And I begin to play a game in a corner. Before I know it, she will respond the way I want her to. So stop when the goal is reached. When you are goal consciousness, when you are goal conscious, you stop when the goal is reached. That is, if I set a goal that this is what I want to do, I want to travel to America, that's my goal. The moment I get to America, that's it. But when I am growing, when I'm growth conscious, I keep growing even beyond the goal. When I get to America, I say, okay, what next? Let us conquer the world. Let us become the salt. Let us make a difference. I listened to a story of a young, most of us might have seen this story of a young man that did something fantastic. And I believe it's as a result of growth. Goal consciousness, wait, I'm not telling the story again because I'm saving it. Goal consciousness, wait for growth to come. And goal, when we say goal consciousness waits for growth to come. Whereas growth consciousness take responsibility to grow. You see, I always encourage people not to wait for life to come to them. We must come to a point where we go to life, go and make it happen. God has given us the capacity to make it happen in life. You are packaged with gifts. You are packaged with potentials. If you are a child of God, you are a Christian, the greater one lives inside of you. The creative ability of God is inside of you. If only you and I can take responsibility and begin to grow, we can surpass our dream. Goal consciousness learns only from mistakes. And I've heard people say to me, let me learn from my mistake. I think it's a foolish thing to learn from our mistakes. I think it is better to learn before mistakes. Growth consciousness learns before mistakes because they learn from people who have gone ahead. They sit on the shoulder of people who has gone ahead of them. They sit on the shoulder of their mentors, their coaches. That's what they do. That's what they do. Goal consciousness depends on good luck, while growth consciousness relies on hard work. Hard work in the area of daily discipline. Okay, I don't love to read. I'm just going to read 2 pages a day of a book that will add value to me. I always ask people, why do you read novels? What are you getting from novels? Story? Fiction? Why not read books that will add value to you? Books that will teach you on how to develop character. Books that will teach you on how to develop attitude. Books that will teach you how to develop in your relationship. Why not read books like that? And if you are struggling to read, is it just in function of saying, okay, I'm struggling to read, I'm going to read 2 pages daily. And when you are comfortable with those 2 pages, increase it to 4 pages. When you are comfortable with 4 pages, increase it to 10 pages. Because there's a research that says about 80% of graduates don't read any books after school. And if we are not learning, we are just dying. So that is the hard work part of it he's talking about. Developing ourselves, increasing in awareness. Because the life we live is all about awareness. That's why someone said, everyone's mountain is their ignorance. Everyone's mountain is their ignorance. Whatever you are going to, whatever I'm going to, is as a result of what we don't know. The moment we know the truth about our situation, we come out of it. So that is the hard work part of it. Please, my friends, tonight I'd like to suggest to us that your potential is not an event. Your potential is not a goal. Your potential is not a product. Your potential is a constant journey of discovery, growth, and insight. Like I said, the gift of God to you and to me is our potential. It is gift from God. Our gift to God is developing that potential, or maybe discovering it first, developing it, and deploying it, using it to become the salt and the light, adding value to our world. That is our gift to God. And that is the purpose of this talk. That is why I come here every Saturday hoping, and of course, recording it, hoping that somebody will listen to this and it will encourage someone to develop daily discipline, because discipline keeps you going. Discipline keeps you going. Discipline keeps you going. Discipline keeps you going. If you develop the habit of success, you make success a habit. At the end of the day, it's not about the success, it's about fulfilling destiny. Because success, they said, is relative. What is success to you might not be success to me. What is big for you might not be big for me. So I hope this talk has blessed you tonight. We have come to the end of tonight. If anyone has a question, you could please ask me.